Hi guys, welcome back to another quick card pull. This is being pulled on Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Today we're pulling from the Crow's Insight. I got this off of Temu, so leap forward, and I feel like a lot of people are taking a leap forward. They're taking a chance. I feel like this is where Spirit was like, they gave you an idea and you're going to take a chance on it. And I feel like this is, if you're like myself, taking a chance on, pulling cards. I had no idea this was going to lead to where I am now. No idea. I was just like, I was just drawn to do it. It was on my dad's passing anniversary, and I just pulled a card from my Fairy Tarot cards deck and, went with it, and then it just grew, and then that's where you start expanding, because now you're open to these, ideas, this wisdom, this ideology, this knowledge, you know what I mean? So taking a bold step towards your goals. And this is where Spirit is going to tell you, you need to start putting your energies into where you want to grow, not into trivial, meaningless things. So Spirit is also asking you, Divine Creator, Gaia, Mother Earth, they're asking you to follow your intuition here. Trust your gut instinct. You got to dream about this. You keep on thinking about it. They want you to move forward with this. And they understand life is busy, but they also want you to take action with this. So with myself, going through the policies and everything like that, what it's going to look like, I know with myself, I have to put some time into this. This isn't going to be something quick. This is going to take time. This is going to take trust. This is going to have you hone in on your abilities, your skills, finessing this. So that's where they're saying, like, don't expect this to happen overnight. This is going to take time. This is going to take nurturing. This is going to take you investing your energy, your time, and everything. Like I said, leveling up your skills. Like they're saying, they're finessing skills, bringing in new abilities. They've been talking about this. So this is where they want you to take that step forward. And you have to learn how to crawl before you walk before you run. So it's going to take time. It's going to happen in stages. So don't think this is going to happen overnight and it's going to change things instantly. It's going to change things for where you want to go. And that is the positive message here. What you want to call in, what you're calling in, what you're manifesting, those seedlings that you're planting. So this is one of those seedlings. You already have this. You're already practicing, and this is already a part of you. And you're going to finesse it and fine tune it, just like you did with, if you are like myself and you pull cards, you get channel messages, you get channel images, you get dreams, you have communication. You know what I mean? This is the same thing. So it's going to take time, but they are encouraging you to take the steps to do this. They understand, like with myself, they know it's, go. Today I'm dragging my butt. So today was not the day for that. So when I have that time, that's what I'll be doing. So we have guidance. So my babies are outside screaming. They're not screaming anymore because they're getting fed. But you know what I mean? This is where they're saying they're deliver a minor messages. But I definitely feel like maybe you're someone that does communicate with animals. I'm so thankful that people that I follow talk about the same things that I feel or experience, because you know what I mean? It's like, some people will be like, oh my gosh, are you nuts? And it's like, if you think so, it's just like, just because you don't walk the same path as me doesn't make me nuts. Like they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I definitely feel like my youngest son is definitely a teacher for myself. He's a deep thinker. He's very intelligent. You know what I mean? Like he's more of that kind of grounding kind of sense of things where, you know what I mean? Not so much anymore, but react out of emotions. Now I give it to God. Let God do the reacting. I don't have to do anything. But this is why they're saying, like, seeking guidance, seeking those abilities, growing and enhancing those. So it's always important after you do readings or whatever your ability is to be thankful for it, call back in your energies. So being thankful for one, because as easily as given to you could be taken away from you. So this is why I feel like that you're being guided on the path you are. There's a reason why you had those dreams. So manifestation, growing the things that you want to grow, putting your energies where you want to grow, you're going to put your energies into. Yeah, we like doom scrolling and everything like that, but it's just like at the same time, it's just like they say, turn your dreams into a reality, because you got to invest that energy. All it takes is for you to take that first step. So even you thinking about, like with myself, thinking about it, what I'm going to put, the policy and all this stuff, price point and everything like that, there's a reason for that, because they want you, where you keep on putting your attention to is where they want you to make that move to, and you're going to push forward and see that manifest and bloom into the things that you want. Why? Because this is your divine purpose. I love the candles, but there's funny. It's just like I saw these really cool wall decors, and it was in the dollar store, And every time I don't buy something, I go back, it's gone. But I'm just like, I'm trying to be very careful and be mindful, right? And it's like, I have so but it's just like, oh, I really like those. But anyway, discover purpose with your life through passion. Find your passion. Even if your passion is, taking care of kids, your passion, whatever your passion is that's where you're supposed to be in life. That's what's supposed to be your purpose, is to be a protector, a guider, a teacher, to children, because you have the patience, you have the wisdom, you are going to be someone they remember. So this is not you not being happy with your life. This is just you calling in, like, what you see, what you dream, what you want to accomplish in your life. So this is where it's just like, universe answering those manifestations, those prayers, those wants. So that's why they're saying, if you're going in the sense of purpose, and this is where your all your attention is going to, with no harm to none, including yourself, that's where you're meant to be. Adventure. So definitely Fool energy here, like you're taking the leap, you know what I mean? The first card we had was taking the leap. Embracing adventure. I feel like this is like day trips. I feel like spontaneous day trips where it's just like, maybe you're on vacation or it's a weekend and you're like, you know what? Hey, let's hit up this person. Hey, do you feel like going to? Sure. Making a day of it. It's just like out of nowhere. We just go ahead and take a trip. And it's like, those are the most fun trips. Like, you didn't even think, or like it's somewhere you've never explored before, but you're interested. Like exploring your own backyard. Hey, let's go an hour out of town. Let's head this way. We always go this way. Let's go that way. And just go for a drive. I remember when Shane was here, we would go out in drives like that, and we would just end up in the most amazing places, and the kids would love it because it's like they've never been there, and finding pumpkin patches, especially in, where was it? Perry. I can't remember the name of it. We were there like almost once a month or something, but like going to the pumpkin patches, and they would pick pumpkins and everything like that. It's just a really nice area to be in, you know what I mean? And check out the shops and everything like that. So nice adventures, nice drives as a family. So friendships, they were showing the Six of Cups with this. So Mercury retrograde is all about rekindling relationships if you want to. This is nothing you have to do. So they were showing with the Six of Cups, this could be someone you're related to that has a closer bond, a closer connection with. Up to you if you want to bring that in. This also could be a call in where they were saying, even with my dream, they were like, think death card, from the tarot. So major change and transformation that leads to the sun. So allowing things to happen the way they are. This is definitely going in with the flow of things. Yeah, it's sad to see people go, but you know what I mean? Do you want to hold someone from, you know what I mean? The one person who was me and Shane's age when we started our family, and that's exactly the stage he's in. You know what I mean? Wife, and, bought a home, and out, made these, moved across the country. So, you know what I mean? It's like, why stand in their way? This could be if someone that's around you, that the relationship changes in a good way, deeper connection. So they keep on talking about these, changes happening and transformations and bringing in deeper bonds. So just be open to that. So I feel like this is a deeper wisdom and understanding. Remember, we're saying going back to school. So literally with myself, we were at the dollar store, and I grabbed, like, I'm utilizing the skills that I've learned as I've, like, read the Bible, Torah. It's just like, highlighting certain passages and stuff like that. So something I want to learn and, bring into my life, it's like putting my energy into that. So this is where I was saying, like, where they're saying your passion is, this is where they're saying there's going to be other things that are going to come in that's going to try and pull you away from that. Make sure you cut out time for that. That is very important, because that is your future. That is where you want to go. That is where you want to grow. Like, you know what I mean? So, yes, there's other distractions. They're not so much distractions. There's other things you're trying to bring into your life. But I feel like, again, this is where it's prioritizing things. And this is why I'm saying, do not close your mind off to younger people teaching you. Like they said, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So, you know what I mean? If you have such a narrow mind and a narrow heart and a narrow understanding that you're like, oh, no, only years of experience matter. Well, then you're closing yourself off to for an experience. So, be open to all experiences. It would, again, no harm to none. But you know what I mean? This is where they're saying you're putting your energies into where you're growing. So this is where, are you studying up on it, or is this something where you're practicing it? That's why I'm saying you're getting ready to put this on a bigger platform. You know what I mean? So bigger platform. That's what you're looking for, because that's what you're trying to bring in and invoke and bring those energies into your life. So growth, very emperor energy, very empress energy, but I feel more emperor because it's like, I feel like empress is more the nurturer. So when we make mistakes, they're like coddle you. I feel like with this, it's like, this is what you need to bring in right now. Like no ifs, ands, or buts, no excuses. Yes, we know, understand you have this and this, but this is something you need to cut out some time for. This is something you need to put your time into, and you need to get this started. You know what I mean? It's not pressuring you. It's just saying this is where you want to bring this into your life. This is what you need to do, and you can, once that's taken care of, you could start doing all the other things. Again, prioritizing things. So it's being stern and but like in an organized way. Not so much coddling you. Oh, I know you're tired. You need no. Like they're like no. You need to put everything else aside and take a hold of this. Reflection. So very much Mercury retrograde energies of reflection, heading into the full moon reflection in that way too. But you know what I mean? Your actions are reflecting in your life. And you're starting to see that. You know what I mean? You may not get accolades and this and that from this world, but you're getting those kinds of things from spirit. Remember, they showed showering and how much they are going to spoil you. They are spoiling you. You probably already seen these things in here. We want to reflect, like what we see in our future, we want it to reflect in our life. So dreams, manifestations, like you've seen this, you've dreamt of these situations. You know what I mean? You've seen this in your mind's eye. This is where I'm going to get to. But this is where they're saying that emperor energy, you're building that foundation. You're building on the current foundation. You're adding to you're expanding. So if you currently have a household, doesn't necessarily mean a household. They're talking about a foundation. You're expanding on it. So visually understanding this is that you have a home and you're adding on 2 more bedrooms and you're going up as well. So this is where spirit is like, we're encouraging you. This is why they're giving you those visual understandings. You want to add on to your life. You know what I mean? They're saying expanding outward and upward. So you want to have that. That's why they're saying, let's strike while the iron is hot. Do not sit on this. So I was dragging, like, honestly, it took me forever. My knee was killing me. My ankle, like, right by that ankle in the back of your ankle where I think it's called a Hercules muscle, whatever. I can't freaking remember what it's called, but that was straining. So I'm just like, doing certain things, resting, doing certain things, resting. And then I just, finally got my butt in the shower and put my magnesium cream on, and that was it. You know what I mean? Time was up. Time to take care of responsibilities. You know what I mean? So that's why they're saying, you want to see yourself, expand outward and upward. This is where you need to put the discipline in, because it's your destiny. Where you're being drawn to, where is constantly on your mind, is where spirit is trying to not drag you, but bring you to. That's funny that they're saying dragging you. True purpose and aspiration. You know what I mean? And it's just like you're in awe. But the thing is, once you get it done, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that was nothing. I always do that too. Oh my God, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. Like my mom bought me a cordless drill. It makes life so much easier. To take all of that out, then the cord and this, I don't know. For me, it's like, ugh. But now it's just like, oh my God, that was like zoom, 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 nothing. Like, you know what I mean? It's essentially the same thing. I just have a battery instead. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It was just like, oh my God, this is going to be so tedious. Because it was hot too. You know what I mean? I was just like, ugh, I really don't feel like doing this. But once it was done, I was like, ooh, it's done. I'm happy. You know what I mean? Did a lot. Like, I'm like Amberland, Tara was saying, like, you are a visual aesthetic. You know what I mean? So that's why I was using, like, they were showing a house and adding on 2 more rooms onto the house on either side, the right and left. But we're also expanding upwards. So we're adding another level to the house. So maybe it was like a single level dwelling, maybe a basement. You know what I mean? Nothing much to look at in the basement. So maybe like, clearing out the dirt in the basement. But I feel like we've done a lot of inner healing where our roots have expanded. Now this is where you're seeing the outward expansion. So they're saying like 1 is the loneliest number. They're taught that this is what they're saying. It's a mindset, right? It's just like embrace the loneliness, because when you're surrounded by chaos, it's like chaos like will fill your life. Because there's a certain situation where this person was hanging around with someone. I get it. You want to have girlfriends and this and that, but you're also a mom. So they started bringing in other people into their life, and it's just, it's not a good situation. Like they say, you surround yourself with fools, you become a fool. So with all this going on, when they tell you more money, more problems, this is the thing. The more you grow and expand, the more people are going to try to, kick you off your path. This is where they're talking about chaos, or even like where they're saying life is busy, and they're saying like, I don't feel like it's making excuses, honestly. I feel like it's disturbances. So that's why I don't feel like chaos. I feel like disturbance. I feel like 555 on the timer. I feel like because this is like a lull in that kind of. I don't want to say chaos. I don't feel like it's chaos. I just feel like it's a disturbance. I feel like it's like the out of the regular norm. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's why they're saying like you're gonna be tired. Like they're showing me for what we went through, and it's just like there's still more work to be done. So it's just like that's what they're like knocking on, that there's more of that to come. So that's why I feel like they're being stern with you, is like, yes, it's a great idea. Let's get started on it now. You know what I mean? I feel like with myself, it's like I will limit it so that way I could see how it goes and then just keep growing on it, just like I did with card readings. You know what I mean? So like, personal readings. So that's where I feel like this is where they're like, even though it's going to be, you know what I mean, all this going on and you're going to be tired, it's just like, ground yourself, tell yourself you're safe because you are, and that this too shall pass. Yeah, it's chaotic and it's disturbing your day, but it will, before you know it'll be done. It'll be move forward out of your life. At least most of it's done. They're showing you that they want you to take this leap of faith because of hope. And I feel like the thing is, it's just like, you want to bring in these beautiful things into your life. You have dreams, you have aspirations, you have ideas. I've had these dreams since like right after Shane passed. So it's just like, you know what I mean? What a great way to honor him, my dad. It's just like, you know what I mean? This is where they're just like, you know what I mean? Like during challenges and uncertainties. That's the thing. It's just like, even though you're not certain about it, it's like, Spirit has your back. They're calling this in. They're telling you to do this because they believe in you. They know you're capable of this. They've already have you conquering this. The thing is, you have to step forward and do this. You move, they move. That's why they keep encouraging you to keep pushing forward. This is invoking an awakening. This is calling you to bring your attention up to where you're, like I said, expanding outward and upward, right? So this is also expanding on your current abilities and new abilities. So this is you trusting, stepping through this door, starting this new journey. This is why the deer was so significant with yesterday. The wild heart. Even though like they were showing remember how they were showing the wands where it's like crisscross applesauce all over the place, where it's like you're afraid of the sticks like poking you or anything like that. You don't have to worry about any of that. They are making you sure-footed like a deer, even though it looks chaotic, and push yourself forward. You're more than capable of doing this. So trust in yourself, believe in yourself and your abilities. May the universe bless you good.